Hello guys, and welcome to this session where we will install the Godot engine for Ubuntu Linux. So start by going to godotengine.org and click on the download button up here and download the Mono version here, which has C# support. Download the 64-bit version here by clicking on the 64-bit button and save the file to disk. Mine will be placed in the downloads folder. Next, we want to install the Mono SDK, so click down here on the link. And when you come here to the page, it will be on Linux and Ubuntu by default. Currently, I'm using Ubuntu 21.10, but the instructions for 20.04 will work as well. So I'm just going to copy these here. Bring up the terminal by pressing Ctrl-Alt-T. Right-click and paste, and press Enter. And type in your password when asked for. Next, we scroll down a bit on the page. To install Mono here, we're just going to type in sudo apt install monodevel. I'm going to copy this, bring back the terminal, right click and paste. And press yes and enter when asked for. This is going to take a while because it's going to do all the pre-compiling and stuff, so I will fast forward the video for you. And Mono has now been installed. Next, we are going to verify that the Mono installation is working properly. You can follow the link here on the verify installation down here. So click on this page and copy the code right here. And I'm going to bring up gedit here. And I'm going to paste in the code. I'm going to click on save. And I'm just going to save this in my home folder here. hello.cs. And click on save. And to compile, we simply type in csc hello.cs. Okay, copy this. Bring up the terminal again. And we right click and we paste because we are in our home folder. And to try this out, you just type in ls to see what we have here. And if you read down here, it's going to say mono hello.exe to run it. We type that in and press enter. And as we can see, it's going to say hello Mono world. So Mono is now working properly. Open up your file explorer and go to the location where you downloaded the Godot engine. Mine was in the downloads folder here. I'm going to open up the zip file here. And I'm going to create a new folder in my home folder. Godot. And I'm going to extract this to my Godot folder here. And we have the executable right here. Next, we are going to add the Godot engine to the main menu. So first, we need to find an icon for this. So start up Firefox. And then we go to github.com/Godot engine. And you click on Godot down here. You scroll down until you find the icon.png and click on that one. Then we right click the icon, save the image as, and put this in the executable location. Mine is Godot, this folder here. And I'm going to rename this to Godot engine and click save. Now we need to be able to edit the menu in a good way. So bring up the terminal by pressing Ctrl-Alt-T and type in sudo apt install a la carte. And type in your password when asked for. Now press the Windows key and type in ALA and you will find the main menu icon here. And you can also type in menu and you will find it as well. Then click on programming, click on new item, type in Godot, you browse to the Godot executable here, and click OK. Click on the icon here, go to the same folder or the location where you place the Godot engine icon here, click on that, OK, and enter Godot game engine. And it's right there. We click on close. Now if you press the Windows key, you type in Godot, you'll find the icon up here, and you can launch the Godot engine on the menu. If you want to have the Godot icon on your launch bar down here, press the Windows key, type in Go, then right click the Godot icon and click Add to Favorites here. As you can see, it's down here on the launch bar. Okay. Before we continue with the Godot setup, we are going to install Visual Studio Code. So start by opening up Ubuntu software. If you can't see it here, then just click on search and type in VS Code, click on it, and then click install. Now press the Windows key, type in VS Code here, and click on Visual Studio Code. Then you go to extensions here, and you search for C#, and install the one on top here, the green and white icon. We will continue with the Godot setup now and come back to Visual Studio Code later, so you can close this for now. We will now continue by starting up the Godot engine here. Click on cancel here. We will not open any assets in the library. Click on new project here. Type in Metroidvania prototype. Choose the path here. I'm going to put this in my custom path. You can use whatever you like. In my Godot folder. And I'm going to create a projects folder here. But you put it wherever you like. Okay. So click select current folder. Click on create folder here. Go with the default renderer and click on create and edit. Next, click on the 2D scene here. Click on the node and rename it to main. Click on scene, then save scene. Click on create folder here and type in scenes. Then click save. Next, we will click on the play button up here. No main scene has ever been defined. Select one. So click on select current here. And the project will start up empty here. You can just close it down here. Next, click on editor, then on editor settings. Scroll all the way down here to mono and click on editor. And change this one here from disabled to Visual Studio Code. Then click on close. Right click on main here and click on attach script and choose a language here. Usually it's set to GG script. Click here and click on C#. And we're going to leave this at default as main.cs here. So click on create. Now Visual Studio will pop up and tell you there's a lot of problems around here. So the first thing we will do is to get .NET Core Sdk here. So click on this button down here, get the SDK. And we will now be taken to Microsoft site. So click on install for Linux here. And we can scroll down here and click on the snap package, which is going to be the easiest way. Then we scroll down, and what we want to do is to install the SDK here. So start by copying the line here. Right click and copy. Now bring up the terminal by pressing Ctrl-Alt-T or using the menu. Right click and paste. And enter your password when asked for here. Next, take the second line here, copy, bring back to terminal, and paste. Next, scroll down to TLS SSL certificate errors here, and copy these two lines here. Right-click copy, and bring up your terminal again, and paste. Then scroll down further here, and we can just create this symbolic link as well. So bring up your terminal again, and paste the command. So make sure you sudo here, and enter your password when needed. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code now. I'm going to bring this up here. It's going to say some projects have trouble loading. Please review the output for more details. So what we have to do now first is to install some extensions in Visual Studio Code. So click on the extensions here. We previously installed the C# extension, but now we're going to search for Godot here. C#. And you will find the C# tools for Godot here. So use that and click install. Click on the C# here, on the settings here, click manage, and then go to extension settings here, press spacebar and type in mono here. Change this setting here, use global mono to always. And then you have to restart Omni# down here. The project is now ready to be used. We click on files here on the Explorer, the main.cs file here. If you now type in gd dot, then we can find all the different IntelliSense things here as well. So we have now set up Visual Studio Code with IntelliSense and everything that's needed to run with the Godot engine here. Okay, so we can just type in hello here, exclamation mark, save this. So if we minimize here, we can now press play here. And as we run, we have the output here, hello, exclamation mark. To do debugging, you click here on run and debug. Click create a launched JSON file. And choose C# Godot here. If we go back to main here, we can add another line quickly. print debug. And we can set the breakpoint here as well. So if you click play in editor, make sure you have Godot running, otherwise this won't work. So make sure you have it in the background. And click on play in editor. It starts up, and we are taken to our breakpoint. You can step through this by pressing F10 and so forth. So this is how you start using the debugger in Visual Studio Code with Godot. All right.